Hello, Marybeth. You are in Mexico.
I am. I'm rejuvenated and it is wonderful.
You look rejuvenated.
There's really no end to the amount of rejuvenation that a person can handle. I've realized there's always
You
room for more.
you look dewy. Like you actually look like you've got the sun. Yeah, like there's still salt on your skin. Were you just in the water?
Sun kissed, sun kissed.
Perfect.
Little 15-minute breaks out there I take.
Oh, very good. Well, I'm rejuvenated too because I
From
was
writing.
away. Yeah, writing and resting. I've got this great picture actually of two of us writing and but they're in between writing and they're napping. I've got this picture of one person at the window and one person in the chair and they're right in front of each other and they're both like their laptops are there and they're napping, which I thought
Oh,
was
but
awesome.
they're just writing with their subconscious at that point.
That's right. um so welcome to our writing group tonight. You've put some time aside to dig into your writing. As you know, we've got some writing prompts for you that you can use or not use, but this is your time, and we're your virtual accountability buddies. You're here to write. Let's take a minute just to check in. Where are we right now as an artist, as a writer, as an author? I'll do this when you're on holiday, Mary Beth. You're on holiday. Just take a nice breath in, acknowledging this moment, this time, and just check in. You're transitioning out of the life of whatever you were doing before, transitioning into these 2 hours of writing. And I offer you these reflection prompts to listen to where you're at right now. Tonight, in this moment, I feel tonight, I am ready to dive into. Tonight, I'm shaking off what was. Tonight, I'll know I'm here when. As you hear your answers, there's no right or wrong. Just witness where you are right now. So, we're going to start with a couple of tips for you. Having just come off this writing retreat weekend, Mary Beth, you asked me, you're like, so how'd it go? Right? How'd it go? And what I said was it was really great to be in a room with people who had written. We'd all written together before, so there was this like, you're either on the diving board or you're off the diving board, right? Like on the diving board or you're in the pool kind of thing. We've all been writing together, so we don't do a lot of time on the diving board. We do a lot of time in the pool. And it was great to get there. And what I mean by that, we were writing, right? We weren't talking about writing. We weren't planning to write. We were writing. And even if we weren't writing, we were researching because we were curious. And that's where we thought we'd start tonight. Hey, Mary Beth, like, what are you the most curious about that's going to get you off the diving board right into the pool?
Right. And Tina brought up that for her, it was a particular word that set her off. So I suggested we'll create some prompts around a possible word for you. And if there's a word that has been burning in you, or even just like not burning, but just rattling around in there, like I have heard Tina say this word many times, and I'm really, really glad to hear that she's exploring the word, what is it, matrilineal?
Yeah.
Because her and I actually got into a discussion 2 weeks ago about whether that was the right word to describe what she's trying to open up here.
Mhm. And I think, like, when I think about curiosity and what drives us to the page and what we can write about, you know, like that word. So matrilineal for me, it was like, okay, if I'm going to write about this, I need to know what it means because I have an idea of what I think it means. And even if I look it up in the dictionary, it has that meaning. But what does it mean in connection to what I'm trying to say? And is it even the right word for me to say? So it's like curiosity sometimes is about, for me, it's about integrity and respect to the content that I'm writing, where it's like, I'm just really curious, am I using this right? So
Mhm.
sometimes it's integrity. Yeah.
And also let's remember that um, there's so much more to understanding a word than just looking it up in the dictionary, right? Like you could take that word matrilineal and it could be an entire chapter in your book.
Totally. Because what came up for me was, oh, matrilineal and matriarchal and matriation are three different, they're like a family of words that mean different things. And I think as, you know, if I asked you, any of you writing your book, I'd say, what's your book about? And if somebody said to me, hey, Tina, what's your book about? And I said, well, it's about matrilineal cultures, which is not what my book is about. But let's say one section of my book was about that matrilineal cultures. I need to understand what that even means, right? So, like a good way to get into your curiosity is if just ask yourself either what is this chapter about, or what is this book about, or what's the ending you want, and what's that about, and
And
then research the shit out of that.
and you know what I think is really cool about that, Tina, is that even if you say, okay, I'm going to devote a day or I'm going to devote 2 days to researching the shit out of that word, it's just going to set you on a path and it's going to unfold in an organic way as you write. Even if you are moving on to your next chapter and your next chapter and your next chapter, like that work that you put in is, it's like building, it's informing, and it's evolving. The whole thing evolves and it becomes part of a greater whole. I don't know. For me, that's just like, it gets me really excited.
I know, but you love research. I hate research.
But,
In fact, but
but this is what I'm saying. It's not just about research. It's like
Mhm.
you become your research, right? Like
Mhm.
you are not no longer just this person taking the word in and saying like, oh, this person says this, and well, this dictionary says this, blah blah blah. Like it becomes your psyche turns it into your own thing, right?
Yeah,
Like that's what writing is.
yeah.
It becomes integrated.
And it's part of what, right, what our fellow writer Nicole Natras calls creative alchemy,
Mm.
right? I think the part, I just want to mention it because I think the part that I don't enjoy about research is that I'm the person who likes to write. Like I like the words falling off my fingers. I like what that feels like. And but what I'm getting equally as, and what I find equally enjoyable is actually letting the questions fall out of my head. So while I might not have a lot of words on the page, I'm not researching to make sure I'm right or researching to make sure I'm wrong. It's like what Mary Beth is doing. I'm researching because I'm curious. And then after I have all those curiosities, like Mary Beth is saying, there's new paths that have opened up that then the words just pour out. But this all came about because of the difference of being on the diving board or being in the water. Like I think sometimes we can be on the diving board, pacing back and forth, and we're kind of researching, not because we're curious, but because we're afraid of writing. But sometimes we can be researching and we're in the water, like we're off the diving board and we're in the pool. And that's the kind of curiosity I'm talking about. I think we're both talking about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's get you in the pool is the point.
To you, who's
We
been
all
in
want to
and
be
out of the pool.
swimming. We all want to be swimming. Nice warm water.
I also want to say before we jump into that, that if you're someone who, like me, Like I spent like 8 hours working on what I was working on, and I got like this much written. But boy, oh boy, do I have so much more clarity about why I'm using the word rematriation and matrilineal in what I'm writing about. So I know that the floodgates will open. So in case that's anybody here is like in that place, don't be hard on yourself. Make that list, and you're either you're either swimming in research or you're swimming in writing, but it all ends up in writing anyway. Okay. So we've got some prompts for you tonight, and the word you're chasing tonight that we're offering to you is writing from a place of curiosity.
Well, yeah, and choose your word, and it doesn't have to be a word. Ah, oh no, I lost Tina. Are you there? Uh, Hold on a second.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
I knew you'd come back, Tina. I knew it. Um, Maybe you've got a word, maybe you don't. Maybe there's something just rattling. It'll come to you. And if you don't want to do a prompt, don't do a prompt.
Okay,
Just,
so I'll read the prompts out.
yeah, sure.
Okay. Prompt number 1. I'm the most curious about ... You had this one, Mary Beth. You said, I say this word, yet I don't know what it means. ... This one came from me because this is my thing. The part of the book I'm avoiding is, and I use that as a prompt because often the thing I don't want to prove, I don't want to research, I'll kind of avoid instead of, and it's the juiciest bit. So the part of my book I'm avoiding is, that would be a juicy prompt for me. And then the last one, Mary Beth, that you offered was, this word comes up over and over for me. All right. So right. Let us know how it's going. And we'll do a little come back with a little checkout for you in about an hour and a half. Okay,
All
everybody.
right. Bye.
Bye.